Have you ever had some aching shoulder pain? Maybe you're trying to push things overhead or reach to the top cabinet in your kitchen and you're getting this pinching in your shoulders. Or maybe you wake up in the morning and you realize sleeping on that side doesn't quite feel as good as it used to. Well, today we're going to talk through how to work on some exercises to heal your shoulders. And it's important to know that you definitely want to get checked out by your medical practitioner first. Make sure there's nothing else deeper going on. But if you're having these aches and pains and it happens with movement, then it could be that you're having some shoulder pain that's related to some tendonitis or even inside the joint in your shoulder. My name is Dr. Dawn Andalone. I'm a women's health physical therapist, and I work a lot with doing Pilates-based treatment, Pilates-based exercise. And today we're going to talk through some of the best ways to work on healing your shoulders, and it has a lot to do with posture, and that's where Pilates is an excellent form of exercise to really address your posture and help the shoulders be in alignment so they can heal and not create so much pain. So with your shoulder joints, bad posture, we think of kind of hunching over. So if you're sitting at a desk or you're sitting in a car a lot and your shoulder blades are rounded forward, your shoulders are forward, and see how my chin juts forward and my head is in this position. Well, this is going to put a lot of strain on your rotator cuff tendons because your shoulder joint is not in the proper position, and it puts more stress on the muscles and the tendons, where if you're in proper alignment, it's going to take stress off of those areas and you'll be able to move more freely. And you can try this little trick. If you actually hunch down and get in bad posture and you try to lift your arms, see how it doesn't go up very high. But when you sit up nice and tall, you get a lot more range of motion there, and you can actually move that joint a lot more freely. So this also helps your neck in alignment, helps your lower and mid back, and you can put less stress on your joints. So addressing posture is going to be the first thing. And I don't want to always tell my clients to sit up straight and pull their shoulders back. Instead, think about your posture coming from this part of your body. So if you get right over those sits bones when you're sitting in a chair or sitting in your car, then when you get over the sits bones and you get your pelvis, the hip bone here, in a nice neutral position. So think of from your navel to your pubic bone, it's a nice straight line. Then everything else through your spine should line up and your shoulders will sit in a more neutral position. And so you don't actually have to force your shoulders back. There's a lot of gadgets out there that are trying to tape shoulders back or squeeze shoulders back or keep them back. But if you don't fix what's going on here through that mid part of your body and through your core and sit up properly from here, then you're just going to jam into your shoulder joint. So that is the first step. And when I teach Pilates, a lot of the emphasis in Pilates is posture, alignment, breathing, and therefore you're learning how to take stress off of the muscles through your neck and shoulders and instead get the air and the breathing happen deeper down into your diaphragm, down into your lower belly. So when we're stressed out or we're using our arms a lot in a bad posture position, we're putting a lot of extra tension on your shoulder joint and on your rotator cuff. And so allowing those muscles to relax, hip or shoulders are in the right position, and then thinking of breathing from down here and instead stopping yourself to take some slow, deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and therefore you're not going to use these muscles quite as much because these are accessory muscles. You don't want to try to overwork them. They're just there for position and to not overstress and create extra tension around your neck and shoulders. So now that we have learned a little bit about posture, let's get into some Pilates-based exercises that are great for your shoulders and keeping that alignment, and so you can also help your posture. The first one, it may require a band like this, so a nice stretchy band, and you don't want it too heavy, but we are going to think about getting in that nice posture position. You can do this in standing or you can do it in sitting. So we get the pelvis lined up, how I talked about, from your navel to your pubic bone. And from there, you're gonna have your elbows in toward your side. You'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, you're gonna pull that band apart, pinching the shoulder blades back. So you may feel the muscles in between your shoulder blades and along your spine working as you pull that band apart. And if you're staying in the nice alignment here and you're not hunched forward, you're gonna work the proper muscles that are helping support your shoulder joint in a healthy way. Now, it's important to note, if you're having any pain or discomfort when doing this exercise, then stop. Don't do it with resistance. Just try without resistance. So it's just an active squeeze and pinch those shoulder blades back. But anything below 90 degrees is going to be more beneficial to start with some exercise, because you don't want to pinch if it truly is like a rotator cuff problem or a tendon issue. Then you may feel more pinching and uncomfortable feeling when you lift the arm over 90 degrees. You also it's great to be assessed by a physical therapist, so that way they can figure out where the root problem is, where it's coming from, and also how to solve it for you and give you the right exercises. So here's just a starting point. So we had that first one where you're pulling the band in and out and just focusing on keeping that alignment and using the shoulder muscles in the right way. The next exercise, you're gonna be on your back, and I'm gonna allow my shoulders to kind of sink into the table here, and my palms are up. And from there, I'm not going to use my shoulders, but instead I'm gonna use my lower body, and I'm just gonna peel my spine off, so I'm coming up into a bridge here. What you want to do is just kind of press those arms down into the mat. And so again, you're like engaging the back part of your shoulder blades and pushing down and back with the shoulders. You're not gonna hunch the shoulders up toward your ears. You're gonna keep that press down as you lift up into a bridge. Think of the neck staying nice and long, like if somebody was pulling the top of your head away from your tailbone, and you're keeping that length in the spine. You're going to exhale, breathe as you lift, and then inhale the way down. And every time you peel your spine up and go into that bridge, you're gonna press your arms down into the floor or wherever you're doing the exercise, so you engage those muscles through your shoulder blades. And that is a safe one to do if you're having any kind of rotator cuff problem or pain in the shoulder joint. So that is the second exercise. So the third thing that we are going to do next is on your stomach. And so when you're in this position, we are gonna move against gravity. It's not gonna feel great, most likely, if your arms are up above the head. So we're gonna keep the arms below that 90-degree level. And here, you're gonna take your palms down toward the floor and your arms just about 5 inches or so away from your hips and away from your body. You can hover the head off the floor so it looks like this. You see how my neck is nice and in alignment? I'm turning my head right now to teach you the exercise, but you want to lift the shoulders, lift the arms off, squeezing the shoulder blades back, and then resting them down. You're gonna lift the head and the neck slightly, and then lift the arms, and then lower back down. Lift, keep the chin tucked, and then lift the arms, squeeze back. So each of those you can repeat about 10 times. It's really important to keep that alignment of your neck, nice and long spine, and then also the palms are facing toward the floor when you do it, so you're not putting extra stress on the front of your shoulders. You're squeezing back, and the goal of these 3 exercises is really to help that shoulder alignment all the way through your spine so you get your shoulders in the right place. And we're working on the strength of the whole shoulder joint and the area that doesn't get worked very much when you spend a lot of time sitting or rounded forward, which in turn causes a lot of people shoulder pain when they're in a bad posture for a long period of time, or they've been doing a lot of that forward motion in front of them. I see this with moms holding babies. I see this with people that have to lift heavy items all the time for their job, or they spend time at a desk for a long period of time, and therefore their shoulders and their neck get accustomed to it. So those are 3 Pilates-based exercises to help heal shoulder pain. And if you are having trouble with any of these, or you feel like it's above and beyond from what you can do, I don't want you to have any pain with doing anything I teach you on these exercises. So make sure you check in with your medical practitioner, and seeing a physical therapist in person can be highly beneficial. But try these, and if they're not having pain but you feel like they're difficult for you, then most likely you have weakness there that you really need to address and help your posture. So I hope that was helpful. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I teach you more about your body and helping heal your body through some basic tips and exercises. So you'll get alerted every time we release a new video. Thank you. Hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching.